Yeehaw! Are you on these swift horses where people are just unfaithful, don't know who they are, and the plot point is California is trash. Chase Lee Hockey here at the Blue Futon reviewing on swift horses. Okay, is California trash? I think so. But this is the 50s, and California had a nice daydream scene of like, oh, anything possible could happen out here. And yeah, the California's still a hell nah. Let's not go stay. Anyway, what's this movie about? You have a couple, Will Poulter and Daisy Ager. I'm saying her name right. Yes. Anyway, they live in Kansas. They have a brother, also younger brother, and he's a little bit, sporadic with who he is and, gambling and just leaving the Navy. And he's like, yo, I didn't need you to leave the Navy because we needed money together to get this house in California. But was never going to do it because this brother just loves gambling and wants to go to Vegas and play cards. Anyway, while he's in Vegas, he meets a guy, Diego. He's from Babylon. I think that was his first movie. Then the main family goes to San Diego. And then the wife is very promiscuous and maybe bisexual or queer. Anyway, so this movie is a trashy film. And I just didn't like it whatsoever. Like, this is a movie about unfaithfulness and everything in between. You could say that some people were pushing this movie to get what they want. But at the end of the day, I just didn't like any of the characters in this movie except Will Poulter. Everyone else was sleazy. They were liars. They were manipulators. And they just only really cared about themselves. Okay, that's a lie. There's probably the one girl that sold the olives. She was probably the only one that was truly true to herself as well, where she knew who she was and she wasn't going to have bullshit where, this is her life and other people are just having fun. She's like, no, this is my life. So the only true people in this movie was the girl that sold olives and William Poulter's character. Everyone else was all about gaming the system, lying, cheating, manipulative behavior of just wanting things from other people and backstabbing other people at the same time. So when looking at this film, it is a nice looking 1950s film about Kansas, about California, about what these characters are going through during this period of time after the Korean War. So you do have that nice aesthetic to it, and you do have a nice diverse character arcs with some of these people, especially, the gambling, the horse tracks, and everything like that. And I just think that's the whole point of this movie is just so much manipulative and so much backstabbing and just so much unfaithfulness that just rubbed me the wrong way, where I'm just like, are people really this unfaithful and fucked up in today's society? I mean, you hear people about, people cheating and having affairs and things like that. Maybe I'm just too vanilla to even have that in my mind of like when going out with someone that's like, oh yeah, I'm going to cheat with this person. Like, they won't care and things like that. And I'm just going to lie through and throughout. And there is this story arc in this movie about selling a house in Kansas. I don't know if that really happened to an extent, because you'll notice something in this movie if you watch it. Not a lot of people are going to watch it, where it is a scene where she's making a lot of money buying on horses, which to an extent, when she's getting her data about the horses from these three men in the diner, it's not going to be always that perfect. Horse racing is, I'm going to say it's the most crapshoot, but if the odds of the horses isn't 2-1 or 3-1, or like 58-20 odds, or like something really low, it's very rare for a horse at 6-1, 12-1, 10-1 to win. Yes, of course you have the sporadicnesses of it, but you're not going to have it a back-to-back-to-back like a 12-1, a 6-1, and a 10-1 to occur. It's just not going to happen with horse racing. And this movie does it a little bit too perfect with some of the gambling elements to it. There are good plot points, especially with this gambling scene of like cheating and people looking down and like blackjack with the casino. I hate blackjack. Blackjack, I always lose. Card games, I just suck at. Like poker, I'll have a great freaking hand, and it's like mathematical odds is like, I got a pair of kings. I should win this. But then randomly on the flop, it will be like two aces, and someone's holding an ace, and you automatically lose. You're like, this makes no sense. Mathematically, I should be winning this. But it's luck. Vegas is, they're rich because of all the losers out there, and I am one of them. All right, but talking about this movie, though, Like, it's a very simplistic movie about affairs, about who are you really and what's your. And that's also my struggle too, right? If you know you're queer, if you know you're gay, but you're still gonna marry someone that really thinks that you're straight, I can't feel sorry for you because you're ruining other people's lives. Like, be yourself. And if you're, I don't know, this movie just rubbed me the wrong way for what it was trying to do. The overlong extended sex scenes that was just sporadically throughout this film. The manipulativeness of people, just the shadiness of people, and it's just like this. And people are saying, "Oh, this is a romantic love story about finding loss and showing who you really are." No, to me, this is just about sleazy, affair, promiscuous people that, yeah, it's just not for me. And it makes California seem like, yeah, if you really just, yeah, not for me. So On Swift Horses will receive a 1.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 30%. So see, the critics and user scores gave this one. And I'm not giving it 30% because of the look of the film. It's the overarching message of the film that just rubbed me the wrong freaking way. So we have 52% with the critics, 83 of them. Critic consensus: On Swift Horses capitalizes on a steadfast cast while grappling the contemplative, rich themes of society, sexuality, and mortality in a mostly astute end. So let me look at the overarching. So no pop. So we got. I want to know the actual, like, instead of 52%, what's the they don't have it. Why does Rotten Tomatoes only do it to some of the movies? Anyway, 30%, 52. Chase Lock here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of these Futontopia. Your Blue Futon. Hey, watch for a great day. I don't care. Watch this tape tomorrow. We can find with a new film. Every single freaking one of you. And yeah, this is, like I said, this is nothing about the filmmaking aspect. It's just I cannot connect with any of these characters.